And one of the things that stops a lot of people from learning programming or any IT related skill, in my opinion, is doubt. And one of the particular thing that strengthens or makes that doubt strong is because most people think that you need to get a formal education or get a degree that is technical for you to be able to work in the tech industry, or for you to qualify or appear as someone who is skillful enough to make it in the industry. But the honest truth is there isn't that much difference between someone who is self-taught and someone who went to a university, because in reality all of us taught ourselves. And that is why the title of today's video is Everyone is Self-Taught. Before going further, I think it only makes sense for me to actually explain what a self-taught developer, or let's even say self-taught engineer, because again, this might be systems administration, this might be DevOps engineering, network engineering, or whatever the case is. Now, what does it mean for someone to be self-taught? Now, a self-taught person is someone who, like it says, taught themselves. That is easy, but then it doesn't explain what it is. I only flipped the words, right? A self-taught person is someone who didn't exactly go to a formal institution to gain the knowledge or the skills. So that means someone who didn't go to a university to study computer science, or even something like a boot camp to learn how to program. Now, they did all of it by themselves. Now, when people think about self-taught, a lot of people who don't exactly understand how things work, they think it's just, you sitting down and figuring out things by yourself. Yes, there is that, but also there is a part that involves maybe taking courses online on YouTube, Udacity, Udemy, and all of those kind of websites. So why do I say everyone is self-taught if at the end of the day there are people who go to the university and still learn programming in school? The reason that is because to actually be ready, hands-on ready to take up a job in the industry as someone who is studying computer science, you need to be self-taught. Self-taught in this sense means you need to step out the boundaries of what school is teaching you, because at the end of the day, the only thing we get taught, whether you're in the MIT, Harvard, or the average universities like myself, or even someone in Africa that is learning programming from the bird, the only thing that you will be taught is data structures and algorithms. Data structures and algorithms, yes, they're awesome, they're lovely to know, because at the end of the day, once in a while you have project that demands you to know all of this stuff. But then again, is it something that you should spend 3, 4, 5 years to learn? That don't make no sense, right? Again, when it comes to building a product that actually solves a real life problem, there is a lot that school doesn't teach you. In my case, I learned how to build the back end of a website using PHP. In fact, I wouldn't really say I learned it, because again, during the course of the class, the API was already built. Pretty much the only thing that the class taught us was how to fuse and merge PHP backend, or working with that API and then building a front end for it. So there wasn't the part of learning PHP as a language. There wasn't the part of learning how to actually build the API using PHP. It wasn't the part of learning how to provision the database. It was more like full stack merging, if that's a way to put it. So at the end of the day, to actually understand that class, you would have to go start afresh, learn PHP, learn how to build, the backend, whether it's Laravel or whatever it was, and then obviously learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, which if you look at it, that is pretty much the same as someone who started out by themselves. The only thing is they've not had the time to actually see hands-on or a code base. But then again, for someone who has touched websites like Facebook and the rest of them, it is the same thing if you ask me. So summarizing this video here, while it's valid for you to think that people who went to the university or gained a formal education or a formal knowledge from a school is way in a better position than you are, arguably that is so, because a lot of companies still hire people who have degree over people who don't. But when it comes to the skills, I think you're in a better position than someone who is going to the four walls of a university, because what the university does is push you in so many directions that really it doesn't help you to figure out what you want. But as someone who is out there, pretty much all you need to do is speak with people who are working on the field to guide you. You could have multiple sessions, 2, 3, 4, with say someone who you look up to as a mentor. They guide you, provide you the resources you need, and within a couple of months, you'll be ready to get out there and do exploits. Why someone is still in the university struggling and pushing. Again, this is not me saying that gaining formal education in computer science or computer engineering is not needed. This is not me saying it's not important. I'm not saying it's a waste of time, because at the end of the day, I did it and I have my reasons. I know why it is still important, which is why it's the next thing I'm going to talk about on my next video. That said, thank you for watching. Whatever is your situation is, whether you're working as someone in finance, a lawyer, a physiotherapist, whatever the case is, even if you're working as a shop attendant, the only thing you really need to do exploits is speak with someone who knows better than you to work out a plan for you, stay committed, and the rest would be history. That said, thank you for watching. See you in 2 weeks.